My guest today is none other than Mary Ford. You may have heard her song Stay in the movie Chase Amy and the recently Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which came out 2 years ago now. And I just want to ask you, how did you get into music? At what age did you realize that you began wanting to become a musician?
I always loved music, and I was always kind of an artist and kind of a little songwriter before I learned how to play. I had a lot of emotions when I was really little. I needed a place to put it. So when I was in a little girl's home, I was really sad. And a doctor from UCLA, he helped me come up with a plan for the rest of my life so that I could learn how to be happy. And the plan for the rest of my life was going to be that I would make it to being an old lady and do something really, really positive with the beginning of my life.
Right.
And that was contingent on me learning how to play music and write songs. So I saved my allowance in the little girl's home. I bought my first guitar by being good. I was really good. I got straight A's. I did everything right with I really wanted to learn how to play music. I really wanted to grow up and join a band. So I was a teenager when I got together with the guys from Cole, and they were really cool people. They believed in the same thing as I did. We wanted to write songs that were meaningful and stick up for the people that we grew up with that had gone through hard times.
Right.
And that's how I got discovered. I was
So,
actually my first encouragement by a legendary Tom Brokaw, who sent me on my way. He gave me this encouragement when I owned one dress. I was just a teenager, really poor, and I won a songwriting contest when I was a kid from a song called People. And it was about my little foster sisters and all of us struggling and emotionally upset. I didn't want to lose that when I grew up. I wanted to stay with good intentions from when I was a little kid. The cool story about stay and what the word reboot means to me is that I lost all my memories in a traumatic brain surgery when I was in my 20s. And when I kind of woke back up, I woke up that young age where I was really inspired and I had purple hair and I wanted to make a difference and I wanted to make the world a better place. So it was really cool. All of the little missteps that I took came out to be these great things.
right.
Stay was a song I wrote really selfishly because I'm really selfish and I feel sorry for myself pretty easily. So I was screwing up at life and feeling sorry for myself. I crawled in my closet and I just poured my heart out. Wouldn't have been a cool song without a lot of people working on it along the way and joining in the band and turning it into something awesome.
So
And it
it was a personal song stay. Was it about a relationship or was it about just how you feel about what's it
was
based on
about
real story is what I'm trying to ask. In
my first broken heart. My first broken heart. I was so sad. I felt so sorry for myself. I crawled in my closet and I wrote stay from beginning to end in 5 minutes. I didn't think anybody else would love it. I just was brokenhearted. I was so bummed out. And also, I hadn't really grown into a stronger person yet. I was still a teenager. So I was begging this guy who was leaving me for his best friend's girl to stay with me just one more day. I didn't care. I'd be the other girl. I had no pride left. Just one more minute, 1 second with me. I can't stand to lose you. That was the way I felt. I had no pride. I just wanted one more second with this man. I was so in love. First big crush. And maybe one of those kind of crazy crushes that a foster kid can have on a boy.
right.
you know, where he was my over
Well,
time, I had better loves, bigger loves, and the song became more meaningful. More people rescued me along the way that
yeah.
became my inspiration, and I got to a better place.
Do you get a lot of guys like me like messaging you, telling you how much, or guys of people like me that message you, telling you how much the song really mean to them, or do you
Yeah,
get that a lot?
I am very comforted to know that I'm not alone when I get really sad. That a lot of people feel the same way that I do. They get yes. And actually that song has been a special, I've gotten the chance to play it at very special moments, like a marriage proposal where a girl said yes. I was
How did that come about? How did that marriage proposal come?
It was awesome. It was two girls who were in love, and they were in love over watching movies that were helping them really translate life and feel not alone. And that song made them feel not alone and inspired to be in love. So I got to show up at a club, surprise her on her birthday on my knees. I played her an Aretha Franklin song. I played her this song, and she said yes to the marriage proposal. It was really cool. It was my favorite. I played it for some pretty cool events, but that was my favorite.
Yeah, I can imagine. And but how old were you when this? You said you were a teenager, but how old were you when you started playing guitar? Was it difficult for you, or did you find it easy to start playing?
Ah, I was about 10 years old, and I believe when I started playing, right around there, and I learned the hardest way. I didn't have a radio, I didn't have a book. I put my finger on every single note, and then I found two notes that sound good together. I said, okay, those two work. And then I added one more note. Okay, that's one more. But by the time I got a couple of those, I had a couple chords. And by the time I had a couple chords, I go, okay, now I get to do the stuff that's gonna make me feel really great. I got to write songs. So whenever I learned a big life lesson, whenever I needed to pour my heart out, I needed a place to vent. I needed a place to listen. I needed a friend that wasn't gonna leave me behind.
Right.
So
It
that
is
was
something
what
therapeutic about writing songs. It's kind of free therapy in a way.
it was the best thing that I ever did was learn how to play music. The only It was almost enough. When I got a little bit older, I was still really sad and I was still a little bit lonely. I missed my foster sisters. I wasn't good at life. I'm still not very good at it. But the one thing that I figured out how to do was that if I volunteered, if I helped somebody out in my community, if I paid anybody back for the mistakes that I made and the things that I did wrong, I personally felt a lot better. And that made me get the chance to write happy songs too. I'm pretty good at writing sad songs.
Yeah. And how old were you when you mentioned touched briefly, but I want to get more in details about how did you come across the guys from Cold? Were they already a band, and then you helped form the band? How old were you at this point?
14. I was 14 going on 15. I met the guitar player. I just thought he was so cute. I told him that I play guitar. I told him that I wrote songs, and I took him to my sound box and I played him some songs. And I had Cole was pretty much over when I was still a teenager, but I was trying to pretend when I first met him for a few years that I was a little older.
Hmm.
And I was really tall, and I just wanted to grow up so bad back then. But so I was 14 and a half when Cole was formed, almost 15.
Right. How long did you stay with Cold, and how did you tour around the country, or did you play at
Mm,
local pubs?
we played local. We played maybe got to Arizona. We didn't we played Los Angeles. We played Los Angeles a lot. We had a really cool fan base in Los Angeles, and in the very beginning we had no fans, and we played in Van Nuys at bars that I would get kicked out of because I was too young to hang out.
Mhm.
I hated that. And
But you still
but
managed to play around.
we loved to play. We got better and better at it. And our favorite place was probably we like playing the Mint, we like playing the Viper Room, we like playing parties, we like playing on the beach for the latest cause that there was to go around. We met the drummer, thanks to EMI and Andy Brokaw, and his name is Bobby Nellis. He's a super good guy, an amazing drummer. And then we met the bass player Chris Garcia through our friend and producer Billy Steinberg, who's on here, and my mentor. And he is still an amazing guy. And we've done commercial work and movie work together. And he's got kids, and they're amazing. They're all really good people, and I'm really proud to have been in a band with them. Uh, They
Do you still
we
play
had
occasionally, or are you broken up at the moment?
we stopped playing together officially pretty when I was pretty young, and then I went solo, and I was doing pretty well by myself. And like I said, I had a pretty serious brain surgery, and that took me back to more meaningful music. I'm still working on it. I was in a I wanted to rock when I was young. I wanted to play serious rock music, and my band we wanted to play
The
like
new John Jett.
Motown. I was naturally a little bit country, like a
Yeah.
country gospel sort of a style by myself, and I wanted to rock. I wanted to, I wanted to be like Big Brother and the Holding Company, but I also wanted to be like Iron Maiden. I
Yeah.
wanted to real rock music, a big rock band.
And I'm curious, how did Kevin Smith come in contact with you? Because that's probably what you most, if I don't want to step on stone here, but that's probably what you're most famous for, right? The song "Stay" in the breakup scene, "Chasing Amy." And how did they come across your song? And what did they contact you at all, or did some studio contact you for the use of the song?
I I think that there was a female named Laura who was a fan of the song, and I think I'm not positive on this, but I think that they originally had a different score for the movie, and things started to fall apart, and they needed to fill some spots real quick. And I think that my song got stuck in there at the last minute and just made sense, and it just found a really cool home. I'm so proud of that. So, I was so glad when I saw the movie. I had to pay to watch the movie. I had no part
Hmm.
of that. There was business going on. I remember I went to I think it was the Lemley in Pasadena, and I put my money and I was watching with my mouth open, going, "Wow, what an amazing emotional scene! What a cool moment! How inspired! I was really happy. I was just lucky."
What do you think about Alyssa Jones' performance in that scene particularly? And
Which
then
one?
what do you think? How do you feel about Ben Affleck's performance and Alyssa Jones' performance in that scene?
How do I feel
What do
about?
you, well, how do you feel about the scene personally? Like
I love it. It's like home, and it's people pouring their hearts out to each other. I love it. I love it. It is exactly life expressed
right.
poignant. It's beautiful to me.
And and how did you come across to be used in the movie Reboot?
Oh,
Did they contact you like, hey, it's me, Kevin Smith. I want to use your song again in Reboot? That's a really poor Kevin Smith impression. But did they contact you personally again, or did the agency?
tracked me down, and they had a hard time tracking me down. I had met Kevin Smith and give him a hug and shook his hand and said, "You, by the way, I was an artist having a hard time making a living. We had a really hard time getting medical insurance, and because of all these really special moments, I got taken care of through residuals in music, and I got really good things that happened to me. I never got to say thanks, so I just want to say thanks. I had this song in the movie. It's really helped me. I'm so proud of it. There was at some point in time there was something on his website that said, "Please no more inquiries for the song or the band." Cool. And he was answering to that because there was no soundtrack. Since it was thrown together at the last minute, there was no soundtrack. And I knew that I had heard about that. So I got to meet him, and he gave me a hug, and we took a bow at a big audience event, and I had met him. And later on I had heard my friend saying, this is a really neat connection that you have with helping this girl, which was me. And then they called me. I had just moved to this area that I was really inspired by. It reminded me where I grew up in East Palmdale. And I was thinking, God, I hope I write some good music here. I hope something great happens here because this is home. This is where all these things came from to me. Not long after I got there, I got the call, "Hey, we want to use your song in the reboot." I started crying. I was really happy. I got everybody around me, and I was so excited because I felt like it was good luck for the decisions that I had made to kind of get back to my roots, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
trying
have to pay to
to,
see the movie this time, or did you get free entrance?
Well, I'm trying to make a big deal out of watching it for the first time myself
Hmm.
online. All of my friends, with all of my neighbors, with everybody who's gonna make it, and to invite them to watch it with me online and stay safe and do something special because they're the reason to me that I got this good luck, and I'd like to share it with my friends and my neighborhood and the community. Just come watch this with me because it's so big for me. It's so important. It's so special. It really makes me so happy that I would like to make a bigger deal and make sure everybody watches it with me. I'm gonna invite everybody. I'm really bad at using computers and phones and stuff. I'm the generation. I'm probably older than you, so I'm not
Yeah.
just not like records. I'm not very good at this stuff, but my goal is to make something very special soon and try to get my friends and neighbors to watch it with me because it's because of them that I was able to do it. It's because of them that I'm writing happy songs. It's because of them that I'm inspired to, do a better job at COVID than I would have done
Right.
otherwise. It's
And
kind
what
they're
do you,
kind of
yeah, and what do you have planned for in the future? Do you have any albums coming up and new songs that you got?
yes. Yes, I made a 13 song record in my last home and I'm trying to get it up to snuff to be able to release to the public. One nice side effect of having to find, it was really hard to find. I had boxes and boxes of things to go through in my little apartment to find this old DAT tape because they had lost the masters. We had lost the masters for this recording, and in order to bring it up to current technology, I had to find this old DAT tape, take it to an old school studio and get it made into the right format to be in the movie. Luckily, that came with a couple of old cool demo songs. I put one of them on my YouTube, hopefully to because it's such a cool message, a positive song. But I ended up getting some really cool masters. They basically wouldn't have existed without getting placed in the reboot. I wouldn't have thought to find that old DAT tape and take it to a studio that would make it of modern times.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to listen to it when it is finally uploaded. But because I tried looking for other songs of yours on Spotify, but it's hard to find. I just find the song "Stay" and "The Volume," which is an amazing song too. But it's really hard to find your songs on Spotify or any other platforms. I found.
Yeah, I'm not very good at learning how to properly release things. I'm notoriously terrible at
That was
self.
fine.
I like to play in my closet and feel sorry for myself and cry. So that doesn't get my music out to the public. It doesn't share. It's a selfish kind of hoarding tactic that I play music mostly for myself and I forget to share it.
Right, but
You know?
that's what makes songs so good, though, in my opinion. That when you write it for yourself to either heal or to feel better about yourself, that's what makes the song so good because it's so personal. It's not fabricated. It's not fake, and that's what makes the song so good, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I play.
I think we're coming to an end. It's a quick episode today, so she agreed kind to play her song "Stay" live on this podcast. You're here with me today at well.h12. Mary Bourne is going to perform "Stay." You're welcome. Go ahead.
Don't have a lie about where you've been. We will know you've been screaming. Why don't you give your little voice? Come on up beside my bed and just pretend you need me. Don't have to lie about what, 'cause we both know you've been suffering. And I don't need to be your old. I don't need you comforted. I just need you weak. Yeah. Stay, stay, stay. Stay, stay with me. Stay, and don't you ever run away from me. Stay, stay with me. Oh, does she ever let you down? After she's run out of your money, well then just crawl on back to me. I'm the one that sets you free, and I'm the one that needs you. If she ever let you go, we no matter what you need, and if you need somewhere to rest, somewhere to lay your head, you'll know where I'll be. Stay, stay, stay. Stay, stay with me. Stay, and don't you ever run away from me. Stay, stay with me. Stay with me. If you need somewhere to rest, somewhere to lay your head, you know where to find me. Stay with me. Stay with, stay with me. Stay with, stay with me. Stay with, yeah. I can't live another day. I don't wanna live. I don't wanna live another day, baby. No, 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 don't you go away. No, no, don't you go away. No, no, don't you go away. No, 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 no. Stay, stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Down the headlines. We added this ending at the very end.
Wow, that was beautiful. You thought, pardon?
People would be clapping, my band would be going crazy. My drummer was doing a 50.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was wow, wow. But you talked about me that you started a podcast as well. So talk to me a little bit about what this is going to be about.
I was just interluding. We used to have a big clapping, and then there's an outro. But I just wanted to dedicate it to everybody who's fighting for COVID, who's wearing a mask, who's lost somebody. I added an outro because we had this big climactic ending where we were all going crazy, and then I would play this little part. It reminded me of the bar started to close down. Sometimes they would already be sweeping up. We had to pack up our gear or give our things to the roadies, and I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to stop playing. I wanted to go home with every fan that was showing up to play with us. So
Right.
That's what the ending was. That's what it meant, was we tacked on an ending because we loved our fans so much. We never wanted to leave their side. And
Right.
tear down the headlines, empty the ashtrays, sweep out the airways with what's up. You can use my body to do what you have to, but stay a little longer. stay with me.
I'm so sorry for interrupting you there. I thought you were finished. It's my bad.
I did.
I'm so sorry. But yeah. But yeah, do you have the social media and anything you want to promote that you wish for me to put in the description? Anything at all?
A description?
Like
Whatever.
promotion, like you want to promote that can put in a link or anything.
I just want, if I could say anything, it would be to stay safe, my friends. Wear a mask with me. Let's stay home. Let's stay home and watch a movie together. I'm gonna find the right date where I think that everybody can watch this movie. This week or next, where I can try to mail out an invitation to my neighbors and a mask. I got a box of these cool rainbow masks in honor of Chasing Amy.
Right. But yeah, thank you so much for being on, and I hope you stay safe during the pandemic. And I hope it was beautiful to hear Son live, and I'm a little bit emotional right now. I'm not gonna lie. And it's a beautiful song. Thank you so much for being on. This has
Thank
been
you so much for letting me play. I appreciate it.
no
You stay
problem
safe.
at all. I'm sorry for interrupting you back there.
No.
And, before you go, this has been Well Done H12. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. We are also on YouTube at Well Done H12, and Instagram the same tag Well Done H12. So see you next time. Our returning guest will come. That's Eric Tiller, and it's gonna be a good episode, I promise you. So this has been Well Done H12. Thank you very much for listening. I'll see you next week. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.